and welcome back to Living Creative with Pixie Princess. Today we're going to be making turkey tetrazzini utilizing leftover turkey from Thanksgiving. And I received a set of cookbooks when I was a teenager from Southern Living, and it was a series. This was a poultry cookbook, and there's a recipe in here for turkey tetrazzini that I'm going to be trying for the first time. So if you'd like to come along with me, stay tuned. So glad you stayed tuned to make this recipe with me. I've got my oven preheating at 350 right now, and I'm going to prepare my baking dish. It calls for a 7.5 by 12. I think this is a 9 by 13, but we have a few more ingredients than the recipe calls for, so I'm using the bigger one, and I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So the recipe calls for a cup of turkey broth, but I didn't have any on reserve, so I'm using a cup of chicken broth. And it calls for a cup of cream of mushroom and a cup of cream of chicken. And we are supposed to mix these ingredients together. So I'm going to put this in this bowl here. Here's the cream of chicken. I'm going to dump that into the bowl. And a little trick I use, I'm putting a little bit of the broth, not all of it, just in here to kind of loosen up what's left in the can. I like to get as much as possible as I can. And I'll do the same with the cream of mushroom. Alright, and so I've got a can of cream of mushroom. Open that can, and we're going to dump it in the bowl. And again, I'm going to use a little bit of the broth in the can to kind of loosen what's in there. The recipe said you can substitute some of the broth with milk if you wanted to, but I'm just going to use the broth. Let's get these out of the way. And then I'm going to put the rest of my broth in. I'm going to stir this up like the recipe calls for. And just get it as blended as I can. It's kind of hard to get it as blended when it's cold. All these ingredients are cold. Sorry, the stirring's kind of loud. Okay, so I've got that together. And then we needed, it said 2 cups of grated processed cheese, which I have come to believe that is Velveeta. So I've got that. I've got mine cubed up. I do not have it grated, but it'll melt. This cheese melts. So I'm just going to put it in to the bowl. And just kind of give that a stir. Okay, let's see. And it says mix the turkey and the spaghetti. It asks for 4 cups of turkey. This is approximate. So we're going to mix that in. And then I may have needed a bigger bowl here. And then it said 4 cups of spaghetti that I've already cooked. I cooked mine in the pressure cooker. Oh, I'm sorry, 6 cups of spaghetti. So let's see. Let me get my book a little bit closer here. Okay, it says mix the spaghetti, turkey, and mushrooms. And it called for 1/2 cup of mushrooms. But we like mushrooms, and I didn't think of anything I was going to be using them for later, so I just used a whole cup. We have a few that I might use for an omelet later. Okay. I can tell my bowl is not going to be big enough to mix 6 cups of spaghetti in. So what I'm going to do is pour this into the baking dish and then kind of mix it from there. And this is very hot. This just came out of the Instant Pot. So I'm just gonna kind of spread that out. And it called for Parmesan cheese. Okay, I sprinkle that last. Okay, so maybe too much, but I think it'll work. And I'm just gonna mix these ingredients in. I'm gonna put a little bit at a time and kind of mix it in. Yeah, I should have got a bigger bowl, but I think this will work out fine. This is mixing in. Spread these ingredients out and put some more in here. You can buy Velveeta that's already shredded. I went to Aldi's. They don't have Velveeta. They have their store brand and they don't have it grated. So that's why we bought the block, and I still have probably half of a block left to use for something else. So probably if I was going to grate it though, I would freeze it first. Okay, and I'm going to put a cookie sheet under this because it's getting pretty full. So I don't want it dripping into the oven. Okay, here's the rest of it. Get that out of the way. All right, I'm just going to mix this the best I can. You know, we started this YouTube channel last year, right after Thanksgiving, with 2 recipes using leftovers from Thanksgiving. And I still have some dressing left. If you want to check those out, the first one we did was Brunswick stew. Very delicious and very good. It goes in the slow cooker. So, you know, if you're going to be Christmas shopping or just working all day, coming home to that, and if it's cold outside, oh, so good. You come home, nothing's better than coming home to dinner already in the crock pot waiting for you. I love that. You come home and the house smells good. Okay, I think I've got that mixed pretty well. And then it calls for half a cup of Parmesan cheese, which I've got measured out, and you're just supposed to sprinkle it over the top. Okay, I'm going to pat this down a little bit. I am going to put it on a cookie sheet because I don't want to make a mess in the oven. Okay, and then you just season the taste with paprika. It's brand new. Sorry, I should have opened this before we started, but I used the rest of my paprika cooking Thanksgiving. All right, so I'm just going to sprinkle over the top here. And it does come out, so. All right, that's all it is to prepare it. So it says bake in a 350 degree, which my oven is already preheated. I'm going to put this on a cookie sheet and I'm going to put it in the oven. It says to bake for 30 minutes. So I'm going to bake it in the oven for 30 minutes. It says if it's golden brown, it's ready. So I'll be back after we get this out of the oven. So stay tuned. Okay, I've got this out of the oven. It took about 40 minutes because I think we have more ingredients than the actual recipe, but it looks beautiful. It smells delicious. So I'm going to dip some out and give it a taste. Oh, that gooey cheese is in there. Oh, look at that. All steamy. I know that's going to cool a little bit before I can taste it. But if you want to check out the first two videos I made last year of the Brunswick stew and the stuffed pork chops, I still have some dressing. I may make the pork chops again, but I'm going to try using the air fryer instead of the oven and see how that turns out. So if you're interested in that, please let me know in the comments, and I will post a new video making it in the air fryer. If you have any other suggestions for leftover Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, I'll be happy to look at them and see what we can do. Of course, we're running out of the Thanksgiving dinner right now, but we will have some for Christmas. All right, so let's give this a taste and see how we did. I've never made this before, so I'm anxious to see. Get some noodles in here. Excuse me. Mm. Mm. I will make this again. Probably make it with chicken, any time of the year. But this is delicious. So if you give this a try or you have any tips, please let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it on social media, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so you'll know when I post another video. I hope in the meantime that you have a very blessed week, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.